Welcome everyone, how's it going? I'm your host, IAN, and welcome to another episode of New Entry Wrestling Podcast where we're flashing back to two iconic moments in WWE history. No Way Out 2001 and Elimination Chamber 2011, and my quick recap of WWE Elimination Chamber 2025. Kick things off with Kurt Angle defending the WWE Championship against The Rock in an unforgettable main event. Then we jump into 2011 when The Miz was WWE Champion and CM Punk took on John Cena inside the Elimination Chamber, setting the stage for their epic WrestleMania clash. Let's dive in and relive these classic moments. Let's go. Hey, how's it going everyone? Hope you're doing great. Just a quick reminder. Life could get a little busy, a little crazy, a little messy sometimes. So just make sure you take a moment for yourself and enjoy the things that make you happy. Whether it's wrestling or anything else, it's important to find those moments. And for me, sometimes it's a little cruising to the city sometimes with a little joint. You know, which joint am I talking about? Am I talking about a little Wayne joint? Or am I talking about the chiropractor joint? You know what I mean? Anyways, let's go ahead because we got a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna give you a quick recap of a quick review of my thoughts of WWE Elimination Chamber 2025. All right, and then after that, go ahead and discuss about WWE No Way Out, a classic pay-per-view. All right, this is Andre the Savage. My guess is one of his favorites pay-per-view. I don't know if it's his favorite pay-per-view, if No Way Out is his favorite, or if 2001 is his favorite overall. But regardless, No Way Out has always been one of my favorite pay-per-views. So I'm gonna go ahead and discuss about what just went down this past weekend with WWE Elimination Chamber Toronto 2025. Let's go. I'm just going to give you the main event. The main event was the men's Elimination Chamber match to determine Cody Rhodes' challenger for the undisputed WWE Championship at WrestleMania 41. Drew McIntyre, Seth freaking Rollins, they both started the match. All right. By the way, just a reminder who was in this match: Drew McIntyre, Seth freaking Rollins, John Cena, CM Punk, Logan Paul, and Damian Priest. So I believe it's 3 Raw and 3 SmackDown. So going back to the match. So Drew McIntyre, Seth freaking Rollins going at it back and forth. They started off the match. Decent spots happening in the match. The only crazy spot that did take place was McIntyre had Rollins underneath a turnbuckle, and it was like the protection part was taken off, so it was kind of exposed, and Drew McIntyre lifted his legs, and Seth went chest first onto this metal pipe that was basically part of the turnbuckle. So that was pretty crazy to see. Anyways, the third person who was able to enter the match was Damian Priest. Followed by that was Logan Paul. Damian Priest was basically dominated throughout the match. Logan Paul was just being Logan Paul, and Logan Paul did perform a lucky punch, his knockout punch, I guess you could say. And then eventually Rollins performed a super kick on Paul and almost went for the cover. Basically, almost it was a near fall, almost eliminating Logan Paul. Eventually, right after that, John Cena entered the match. He was 5th, and then he performed his signature John Cena moves that he does all the time. And the one thing I did predict was Drew McIntyre Claymore John Cena. John Cena. But before he had a chance to cover him, Damian Priest rolled up Drew McIntyre for a cover and basically eliminated him. He got the 3 count, which was a bummer because I really thought this was going to lead into John Cena and Drew McIntyre, but I'm glad that I kind of predicted that moment of John Cena being Claymore with Drew McIntyre. I thought it was going to be, what's it called? Somebody else was going to cover John Cena. And just, I thought it was going to be like a quick buried, basically. That's what I thought was going to happen. Like, oh my gosh, Drew's going to eliminate John Cena right now, but that wasn't the case. Damian Priest rolled him up, so Drew was the first person to be eliminated. And yeah, so right after that, I think right when Damian Priest got eliminated, I think CM Punk entered, and he was the last person. And John Cena. Oh no, I think Logan Paul. Sorry, Logan Paul eliminated Damian Priest. Yeah. So because Drew McIntyre hit before he left, he hit him with a claymore, and then Logan Paul went to the top of the chamber, Punk's chamber pot, and then did a frog splash. 1, 2, 3. Logan Paul eliminated Damian Priest, and then that's when CM Punk entered, and then he had a stare down moment with John Cena. And then eventually, Logan Paul took both men out. And then eventually CM Punk hit Logan Paul with a GTS, the go to sleep, which eliminated him right away. So I think John Punk was in the match for like 3 minutes before he eliminated Logan Paul. Then once that happened, John Cena and Punk, they finally have another moment again in the ring, and he offers a handshake, but Punk hugs him. And then after that, they went back and forth, trading like punches and stuff like that. And then eventually, Seth Rollins gets in the mix, and eventually, Cena counters a crossbody into an attitude adjustment on Seth Rollins, and I think that's what he got. He eliminated him with. I don't know if it took. I don't know if it was right after that or maybe eventually after another attitude adjustment that took him out. So, but or I think it was actually I think Punk. Oh no, sorry, Punk was eliminated. Oh, okay, I remember what it was. John Cena hit him with an attitude adjustment, and then he got up, and then he took a GTS from CM Punk. CM Punk eliminated Seth Rollins. Duh, because then Seth Rollins. Okay, now I'm back on track. All right. So then Cena performed an attitude adjustment on Punk right after he eliminated Seth Rollins. Kick out. Punk then performed a GTS on John Cena. Kick out. In the end, Rollins performed a stomp on Punk, allowing Cena to apply the STF submission move, basically a chokehold, who passed out. But before he passed out, the saddest thing was John Cena shouting to Punk, I am sorry, because he was going to take his WrestleMania moment because we finally got the final two. It was Cena and Punk. And yeah, it was just a great storytelling match. It was really quick, to be honest, but it got to the point because it's like, it's all about the story in this match. And that's what it was. And then after Cena said, I'm sorry, CM Punk passes out, which was crazy, Now we know it's official. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 41. After the match, Cody Rhodes appeared and he had like a stare down with Cena and all that, basically like confirming, yeah, it's going to be us two at WrestleMania in the main event. Then The Rock and Travis Scott both appeared. They both came out and joined Cody Rhodes and Cena, and then The Rock basically asked Cody Rhodes, "Do you accept my offer? Are you gonna give me your soul and all that, and be his WWE champion?" And Cody Rhodes obviously denies. He denies and tells The Rock, "Hey, Rock, go f yourself. He dropped the F bomb. No bleep, nothing. He said it. Cody Rhodes, I believe, is the first person to be allowed to say the F bomb. I don't know. I don't know if that was okay with. I'm pretty sure Triple H was okay with it. I know The Rock was definitely okay with it. So I don't know. Everybody lost their mind after that. I even was like, "Whoa, what just happened? Did Cody Rhodes just said what he said?" You know, they didn't even bleep it out. That was the crazy part. I think that was I don't even think the fact that he said the F word, you know, I think it was the fact that they Peacock didn't bleep it out. And again, was it because they didn't knew about it, or did they just allowed it? You know, that was the shocking part. Anyways, Cody Rhodes denies, and then John Cena in the background going all crazy. He hugs it out. He gives Cody Rhodes a hug, and then The Rock gives him the single. Now, some are saying that he gave the single to John Cena to attack him. Some are saying was, hey, the offer is there if you want it. I guess I don't know. At this point, I really don't know that part. But anyways, Cena hit Cody Rhodes with a low blow after showing this mean mug face to The Rock. And because of that low blow, the kick to the groin, that showed us that Cena turned heel after 20 years, 22 years, I believe, since 2003. But some say some people view John Cena as a heel. I remember 10 years ago, I was booing John Cena for like 3 years. So, in my point of view, he's always been a heel. He just never acted like a heel. So, he attacked Cody Rhodes very crazy, viciously, if I have to say. He busted Cody Rhodes the hard way, which, damn, you can even hear it. When Cena picked up that belt and hit Cody Rhodes with it, it was skull to title. Like you hear the sound effect. It was brutal. You heard it like twice. Even The Rock took out the belt, and then the belt that he was wearing, it was one of those weight belts what bodybuilders wear for lifting, or I believe powerlifting and doing squats. Uh, so on that belt, I believe it said something about Cody Rhodes sold or something like that, or the Rhodes sold, or Cody sold. The Rock used that belt to whip Cody, and Travis Scott was holding Cody Rhodes down, and John Cena was holding him down as well. So Travis Scott, The Rock, John Cena in the ring look like three badasses. This is the biggest heel turn since the NWO. Some say since Seth Rollins. I think this is the biggest WWE heel turn ever. Um, just the biggest. The timing for John Cena's heel turn right now is the best time. It's going to be pretty interesting where this plays out going to the future. I'm looking forward to it because it's going to be a great story and a great storyline. And John Cena loves telling a story in the ring, so I'm pretty interested how this is gonna play out. Unfortunately, John Cena is going to be gone for a while. He's going to be doing Hollywood stuff. I mean, that's what happens when when you sell your soul to The Rock, right? You go out and do Hollywood, and that's what John Cena is doing right now. He's filming, but he'll be back in the middle of March for Raw and SmackDown, I believe, or maybe it could just be Raw. I'm not quite sure. I mean, it would make sense for him to be on SmackDown because that's where Cody Rhodes is on. So there is a chance that he may be on both brand for the European tour. And I believe the European tour is going to lead all the way to WrestleMania. So we're not going to see him till WrestleMania or mid March. So yeah, it's going to be crazy how this works out. It's also going to be crazy how if CM Punk is going to be added to this match. Yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting. So now for the rest of the match, Bianca Belair defeated Alexa Bliss, Bailey, Liv Morgan, Naomi, and Roxanne. I gave it a 8 out of 10. Jade Cargill made her return and attacked Naomi, showing that Naomi was the one who attacked her. Nothing confirmed about Bianca Belair being involved, so that could still be factored in. Tiffany and Trish Stratus versus Nia Jax and Kansas LeRaine. I give it a 7 out of 10. It was a nice, fun match for Trish. Seeing Trish Stratus again it's always great. So 7 out of 10. Kevin Owens defeated Sami Zayn in an unsanctioned match. I gotta say, I mean, it's hard. I mean, can you even rate this match since it wasn't even official? Um, Even though it wasn't official, I'm still gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Honestly, this was like the best hardcore match that I've seen in a while with storytelling involved and not just using weapons just to get a pop and a reaction. They actually told a story with the weapons in this match. Yeah, and also Randy Orton returned. So obviously, I called it right on Randy Orton making his return. But obviously, he made his return after the match and was able to still RKO Kevin Owens. So obviously, we're going to get a match between Kevin Owens and Randy Orton at WrestleMania. Yeah, and then John Cena defeated CM Punk, Damian Priest, Drew McIntyre, Logan Paul, and Seth freaking Rollins in the Elimination Chamber match. Undisputed WWE Championship number one contender match at WrestleMania 41. I gave it a perfect 10 out of 10 from it was just great. It was great storytelling. It was non-stop action, to be honest. It felt like a video game with all these great spots, and the spots all meant something for the match. So yeah, overall show, woo, including the Rock and Cody segment, which was the main event, and John Cena turning heel. I gotta give this show, honestly, damn man, this is a match. This is a pay per view that's gonna be tough to forget. I feel like this is a 10 out of 10, to be honest. I watched this whole entire pay per view three. I don't want to say I watched it 3 times, but I watched it back twice already. So I mean, I feel like I haven't done that in a while. The last time I did that was SummerSlam, 2023, I believe. So yeah, that was the last time I did that, and I only did that because I was there live for it. So yeah, that's all I gotta say for this overall review for WWE Elimination Chamber. All right, The Rock versus Kurt Angle, No Way Out 2001. This is the main event. This was the match I talked about on my last episode, 201, how Kurt Angle, The Rock face each other, and the whole Kurt Angle dropped the title to The Rock because, WrestleMania 17, Vince McMahon wanted a bigger money match, which was Stone Cold versus The Rock. Uh, Boom! Look at that strikes. So what's about No Way Out that you enjoyed about, or was it the match, or was it like the show leading up to
So
WrestleMania?
the whole thing from start to finish, it may have been considered a B or C type show because it's not something that was around for too long. It was kind of like the modern day. It was like the Attitude Era version of the In Your House
Yeah.
shows. Um, but it had something behind it, right? Um, this show was good pace from start to finish, even with that Trish and Stephanie match because you knew the story behind it. So
Hmm.
without that story promo build behind it, maybe it would have been a sad situation.
Right.
But you put William Regal in a tough spot of who does he help win? His boss's
Mm,
daughter or his boss's side?
man.
The hardcore match, man, that was just like the epitome of lower mid card. It kept people out of catering. It gave you something to watch.
True.
It was entertaining, man. That was great about the hardcore title. It's something that the 24/7 title was missing. But having R-Truth in the 24/7 title matches was like Crash Holly of
Yeah.
the time. Um,
For sure, for sure.
then that sick tag title tables match. I think it should have been a fatal four way. I think you should have had Rikishi and Haku in it, but maybe one of them was injured. And that's the reason why they didn't. Because
I believe Rikishi was the one was on the injury at that time, I believe, or maybe it was just too much for.
it was a while before you got to see him wrestle again
Yeah,
when he did get injured, and then he didn't get injured for a while. Then he didn't come back till like 2002 or like the end of the year. Um,
and
because if you remember his
he wasn't really the same once he came back around that time because he became I don't want to say he was never popular, but I guess they started giving him a push again with Scotty Tahati right there at on the SmackDown brand.
yeah,
Eventually, they won
because
the tag
the
team
very last
titles.
the very last time you see him on a live show, it wasn't that wasn't Jack, that wasn't Metal, that wasn't Sunday Heat, was the Raw after WrestleMania or around that time, where Mick Foley gets him to turn face
Mm,
on Triple H, and then Triple H buries Rikishi on Raw during that
really?
whole two-man power trip time.
Oh, okay.
Um,
The
that's the last
last
time you see.
the
That's the last
last
time you
time
see
I
Rikishi until
remember the last time I remember was when The Rock called him out
yes, yeah,
for a stink face. That's the last time
yeah,
I remember him.
For the Rock kiss my ass
Yeah.
match or club. That was the last. So that's the last time you see Rikishi until that moment.
Mm, with this match. Oh, look at that belly to belly, bro. That is nice. So me and Andre are watching this match. You know, if you've seen a Rock and Kurt Angle match, they do the same thing basically. Just a lot of back and forth, but that was a nice high spot, belly to belly. But yeah, I remember that tables match. I do remember on the I don't know whose podcast it was, but Demon mentioned how Bubba accidentally hit the Undertaker in the back of his head with a steel chair, and it was supposed to be Demon who was supposed to hit the Undertaker, but for some reason, they happened to
Yep,
swap,
I
and
saw that. I saw that too.
man, that was
Um,
hilarious on that side of the story.
it's crazy though
Oh,
how you have Devon back with the WWE, but not Bubba in some aspect. Now he is. Now he is through
right,
TKO for the new version of I guess Tough Enough.
yeah.
It's like
What's it
Tough Enough and
called?
NXT mixed
Legend Future
LFG.
Legend
LFG is
Future.
the acronym, but yeah,
Yeah, but what is it? Legend Future what was the last one?
I forget the last part.
Mm.
But
Oh
I mean,
well.
it might as well stay tough enough. You know,
Yeah.
you don't necessarily have to do the whole aspect of random people and indies. I mean, or you could do that. You might as well try to do
I
that.
don't
Like
know why
indies
they
and
won't do that. Because that is a great reality TV show. Getting like for example, let's use Daniel Bryan to convince Daniel Bryan and like to have that lifestyle in Ring of Honor to go on and have a WWE lifestyle. That would have been a great reality show
I
back
think
in the
that's what
day.
was missing from the last few tough enoughs. You know, it's good that they try to buy into this whole let's have somebody organic, let's have somebody fresh.
Right.
But maybe if they had introduced some indie stars into that last series, it probably would have gotten better. The
Mm.
good thing about it was Billy Gunn. Billy Gunn is what was needed because he was criticizing these kids on you want this to be a thing, you want this dream to come true, but I don't really see heart. I don't see determination. I see a lot of laziness.
Yeah.
You want it without the work, and it's not going to happen without the work.
Look at that nice suplex. Yeah, but you can see the screen, right?
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
super suplex just now. Yeah,
With that cover. One, two, kick out.
the best sellers of all time: HBK, The Rock, Rock Lesnar in his own right,
Yeah.
Dolph Ziggler, and I'm going to give it to Triple H
Oh yeah.
because he used, especially
That's a
when he
good
had his
one.
long hair. When he had his long hair, he used the hair to his advantage for his emotions, especially whenever he would get locked into a submission.
Yeah, because I remember that's what it because Stone Cold Steve Austin doesn't have hair, so he can't do that. But he would use his hands to cover his faces for to express emotions of how painful it was.
Yeah,
Um,
and in case he
so
bladed himself.
yeah, and even Steve Austin himself would like shout, and then when you hear him, and he's not of a type of person who would shout, but when he does shout, it's like, oh my gosh, I think Austin's really hurt. So
That raspy Texas redneck,
yeah.
throaty screaming.
Kurt Angle. What was your thoughts on Kurt Angle at this time?
As a kid, I hated him.
He was doing his job at the time.
Yeah,
I had
as an
mixed
adult,
feelings about Kurt.
as an adult, I appreciate him more. And then, just
Right.
go from that whole goofy 1999.
Oh, here
Oh,
comes
Big
the
Show
big
coming in.
show. Here comes the
Poor Mike Chioda.
big
Poor Mike
show.
Chioda, man. That small last referee had to take that huge choke slam plunge, man.
I'm gonna be honest,
God bless Mike
I
Chioda.
only watched this match once from the pay-per-view, like the first time, and then the only time I ever go back to this
Look at this. Poor
pay-per-view.
Mike Chioda,
Oh
man.
my
Look at that. Look at that.
gosh. Damn. That was all big show. The nice chokeslam to the referee. Now chokeslam to Kurt Angle.
How does
Oh
he
wait.
choke slam Kurt with that big ass neck he has, man?
Damn. Oh, here the
And
Rock's
it gets
next.
worse. It gets worse for Kurt too. If you look at the choke slams throughout the years,
Boom.
Kurt's neck is almost as big as Brock's from the neck injuries. It gets wider and wider every year.
Well, I'm pretty sure from his shoulders as well. But yeah,
Yeah,
you are right. His neck has been getting swollen.
it got thinner now because of the last few fusions and because he hasn't been
Yeah.
wrestling.
His
But
worst
when he wrestles,
his worst time when his neck was swollen, I think was like 2010 through when he was facing with Mr. Anderson, whatever year that was.
not sure if he did that the final cage moonsault.
Yeah.
That's a higher cage too. See that one.
He had surgery after that match with that replay chokeslam. So why was the Big Show here? Why did he chokeslam the referee? So,
Because well, I don't know about the referee, but the whole purpose of choke slamming them was Rock took his spot to beat him on SmackDown. He faced him on SmackDown for the number one contenders match.
right.
Rock bottomed him onto a chair that Kurt Angle brought into the ring,
So we could have gotten the Big Show versus Kurt Angle.
uh, which probably would have been Big Show versus Austin.
Oh yeah, you know what? It probably could have. That it's a possibility. They do have a backstory of the feud. Oh, here comes the botch finish. This is it. One, two. Oh,
Good old
I,
Oral Hubner, man.
I love when The Rock kicks out.
He's out.
It's just he makes that person look like, oh yeah, damn, he almost had him.
The Rock promo for this was solid. Tick tock, tick tock,
Your time is
tick
up.
tock.
It works out because Kurt Angle took the title away from The Rock.
This whole pay per view was a WrestleMania pay per view, man. It was well paced. It was
Ooh.
well scheduled. And then that night, that's when Jerry Lawler quit. That's why Taz is on commentary.
Oh, did he really quit that night?
Yep.
Oh wow. Hold on. We'll talk about Jerry. The Rock just hit Kurt Angle. Oh yeah, Kurt Angle with the WWE Championship. The Rock goes for a cover and kicks out. Yeah, I remember that. I was kind of funny. It was kind of funny with his whole gear. It was like what, a tiger?
I don't know if it was the next Raw or the Raw afterwards when Paul Heyman debuts, but I'm pretty sure it's Michael Cole in the next Raw, and then
Mhm.
afterwards Paul Heyman
So why did he quit?
because they were going to lay off his at that time wife, the cat.
Oh, it was during that. Okay, I remember that. Okay. Okay, I remember that. I didn't knew that's what was going on at that time. I thought because I thought he got hurt because of the match. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's damn. I never and then I mean I heard about it years later. That's the reason why he quit at that time. But I didn't knew about No Way Out. I thought he was hurt and then he never came back because his wife got fired or they, didn't re-sign her contract or that renew her contract, and then that's when he decided, oh, I'm not coming back. That's how
I
I.
guess she thought of herself as attractive as Sable enough to get Playboy cover, just like China did.
Mm,
Just like Sable did, just like China did. Which, hey, I get the reason why behind it. She wanted that same fame. Unfortunately, she wasn't that woman. She wanted to be that woman, and she wasn't.
okay.
So
Not that
it's
they didn't
attractive.
want, not so it wasn't like they didn't want to offer her, or it wasn't. It just was the fact that she just wasn't that popular enough. But in her mind,
Yeah,
she thought she was.
China and Candice are the only two brunettes that ever got the Playboy covers. The rest of them were pretty much blondes and Christy Hemme
Mm.
because Vince had a thing for blondes. Vince was in love with blondes.
explains
Sable,
explains
Tori,
Linda,
Sable, Tori. Who else?
Charlotte.
No, well, I'm talking about the Playboy covers.
Hey, I want Charlotte on that. That was a nice spine buster. Trying to go for the people's elbow. Is The Rock gonna be able to do it? Look at that, going for the people's elbow. You smell what The Rock is cooking. Now, they're probably smelling his freaking balls because, boo, look at that. Elbow drop. One, two. Oh, kicked out. Kicked out. Earl Halber's like, guys, what's the finish? I thought that was the finish, but I guess not. All right.
I wonder how hard it is for Taz to call this match because I know he really didn't like The Rock at all.
Was this Taz's first commentary on No Way Out?
No, he did it the year before too when he had that feud with Jerry Lawler.
Mm, that's stumping a mohole on Kurt Angle. Oh, low blow. That's the other thing I like The Rock sells, the low blows. You're like, Bully Ray too. Kurt Angle is trying to expose the turnbuckle. Look how simple it used to be back in the days.
And this is one of the first matches where Kurt doesn't bother making the effort to put his whole singlet on.
Oh, really? He usually does it when he does the ankle lock. Oh no, he usually wears them or
He
has them
usually already
up.
has it on.
Oh
Yep.
wow. Oh, Rock. Oh, elbow. Damn, that was a stiff one too. Oh, face first on the turnbuckle. Angle slam. A
Rock
super
always
arm
know how to sell a
drag.
finisher, man.
Boo! Look at that kick out. The crowd is going crazy. Rocky, 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 Rocky.
And you know when they had this whole match advertised after he wins, they don't focus. They do the one thing that a lot of people don't realize that they don't focus on it's Rock versus Hogan. Rock versus Austin too. They made it seem like it was a whole brand new rivalry.
Yeah, that's what they
They
did
didn't
with
put up
Hogan and
they didn't
Andre.
they didn't talk about 1999. They didn't talk about 1998. They didn't talk about their previous matches. They just made it seem like this was a whole new rivalry. Which
Yeah,
in it, if you think about it, it kind of was because they had chemistry already and they didn't draw attention to their previous uh, matches.
damn.
But during the whole investigation of who ran down Austin, Rock brought those moments up. Rock brought up WrestleMania. He brought up Backlash. He brought up running him over with throwing him out of the bridge. He brought up the Intercontinental title rivalry.
But that was more
But for
that that
WrestleMania,
that was towards oh yeah, you're right. I thought you meant if it oh here comes the was that the botch finish? Did we just miss it? Let's go back. Rock bottom right here. Boom, rock bottom. One, two. Oh, hey, he
yep,
kicked.
that was the
Yeah,
referee.
that was the ref. He kicked out. He kicked out. And then the guy, you can see the
I
fans.
think they didn't time the rest of the match right because they still had time on the air. And
Oh,
you know when that happens, the referee's being told like, "Hey, don't count yet. We still have time."
damn. Oh, and then the Rock probably thought like, what was that about? So he probably
Yep.
thought the ref botched it, but boom, one, two, three. It could also be because of the camera angle as well. Like, hey, we're not in the grace on the set on the right angle and all that, but wouldn't you just have a longer celebration then if that's going to be the case? Like
I
right
mean,
here,
he's gonna get a long celebration anyway.
that's what I'm saying. So it's just like he's having a long celebration. So it's just like, hey, celebrate longer. We still have a lot of time left. But going on time wise, apparently the match was like 16 minutes. So it's like, damn, how much time were they given? The
Turn of that, huh?
Triple H and Stone Cold, that was like 45 minutes to almost an
But see,
hour basically.
that's what I said. This was a pretty much a WrestleMania pay per view because it's what you're looking for in a WrestleMania. You want the pace to be good from the start to finish,
Mm-hmm.
and no crowd death. There was no almost no crowd death throughout this. Maybe a little bit in there in the Trish and Stephanie match, but even then, the video package was real good.
It was. Like Kurt Angle
So
cried. And then that's also what I like is that they'll show the person who lost their emotion as well, adding like points to the match because it shows the what's next. Kurt Angle's crying. He's basically letting us know it's over. Like, damn, my WrestleMania dreams are to main event WrestleMania is done. It's over because that's why he's upset. That's why he's crying. If he was angry, then that show us it's not over. Kurt Angle's gonna get his opportunity back. Maybe it could be the next pay per view, WrestleMania, maybe a triple threat, or maybe he's gonna get a rematch on Raw, SmackDown, or maybe he's gonna go after Stone Cold Steve Austin to get that, to take his spot. So that's what we don't get that. It's just like we don't get that anymore. It's just like, oh well, I lost. Okay, whatever. On to the next.
and unfortunately, at that time, Kurt Angle versus Austin would not have been a good enough draw
It would have
because
been a hell of a match, though. Hell
it
of a
would have been a hell of
match.
a match. But the audience had not matured enough to know what's good and not. They were looking at what's entertaining. That was the focus. What's entertaining, and
Yeah.
unfortunately, with that type of audience, Austin and Kurt Angle would not have worked at WrestleMania. On Raw, yes, that's why they kept advertising. That's why they kept trying to see how good the match would have been. But as good as those matches were, they weren't great stories.
True.
That's what Austin and Angle missed. Great stories. Now, the fast forward to SummerSlam, whole different scenario because Austin is heel, and you're asking for America to win. That's when Kurt Angle wins.
Yeah.
That's why it worked.
And then from that point, they already built a relationship at that point. And
But
now
it,
we
but
kind
then
of want to see
but
this match
it got stale because who's Kurt Angle going to face next?
as world champion at that time.
Right.
So you're
You got the Rock. You got
saying
the Rock as a babyface,
right.
focusing with Jericho. You
Mhm.
can't put the Rock and Kurt Angle to get, against each other because they're on Team WWF.
But things would have been different if Triple H was around, though.
Or if the stupid
And
or if the stupid
Benoit.
alliance thing didn't happen.
Yeah, that's true. So that means there would have been no World Heavyweight Championship. Because I honestly believe because on the last episode I did this or that, and it was Kurt Angle walking in WrestleMania 2008, 2002, WrestleMania 18 as undisputed champion or WWE Championship to go against a returning Triple H or a babyface Chris Jericho. One of those two winning the Royal Rumble, going on to go face Kurt Angle, because Kurt Angle and Triple H, you got the story, and then if you want Stephanie McMahon involved, it makes more sense, right? And then you have the babyface Chris Jericho against Kurt Angle. They have a whole rivalry in the past of being a better wrestler. Um, Also, Chris Jericho, the Toronto, and all that stuff. At least this time he'll be a babyface, so obviously he would have been cheered, and Kurt Angle would have gotten booed. So that's where like I felt like it possibly could have happened with no evasion, or even with the evasion, if they decided to have Kurt Angle as undisputed champion. Um, I don't know, but like, yeah, if there was no invasion, what would how would WrestleMania 18 look like then? That's the question. Would even would because and also would the NWO even happen if there was no invasion?
We shouldn't have had an invasion without the NWO. But they were not gonna. Vince was not about to spend millions of dollars to get them. He was gonna let AOL pay off their contracts.
Yeah, I mean that's what ended up happening. But yeah, the NWO should have happened with the invasion.
Plus, you needed God Hall to get through rehab.
Mm, damn, wrestling's a wild time, man. Wild time. But that was in the past. Now we got to talk about the future.
So, oh man, it's gonna be an interesting few weeks, man. But with things going on, we got SmackDown that's gonna be coming up in April in Chicago. I'll be going that night. Um,
Nice,
tickets are
nice.
ridiculous. Tickets are ridiculously expensive. Usually by now the tickets are still like 20, 40, $50. But because of this whole TKO merger,
Yeah,
$90 for the nosebleeds.
dude, it's crazy. Crazy. And it's not even the full set. I would understand if
Nope.
it's the full set. I would understand that. But even Survivor Series were that expensive. When CM Punk's return, it still wasn't even that expensive. That's crazy.
So
I'll be
I'll be
going to
taking my
AEW
nephew.
Collision, $20. AEW
Well,
Collision, Milwaukee, $20. That's where I'll be
yeah.
going.
Then again, remember how many fans are gonna be in attendance with you.
That's fine.
You'll be one of 5,000.
That's fine. I want to go to a collision show just because it's just to say I went. That's it. You know what I mean? Just because I said
They're gonna probably tell you to put your phone down, don't be recording the whole arena.
I know I'm not gonna be doing all that. But like the only reason I'm honestly going is for Edge. That's it.
Who?
That's Edge. Adam Copeman.
Corner?
Yeah, Cope, whatever. The corner, the Liege, and Christian Cage if he shows up. So that's basically it. Uh, I gotta see. I gotta sing along with the Edge's theme with the 5,000 people that are gonna be attending, and yeah, because the last time I only watched two Edge matches live. The Judgment Day, Hell in a Cell against Finn Balor, AJ Styles, and Liv Morgan, and then my first time watching Edge wrestle was him against Shawn Michaels and Benoit in a triple threat match. This was the night before Taboo Tuesday. So yeah, that's why I'm like, man, I gotta see Edge wrestle with his theme song because that's the one thing I haven't done.
I saw him versus Jeff Hardy at Judgment Day 2009.
See, that's the
We
one
did the
I wanted to go, but could not happen. Man,
where
you
he,
lucky bastard.
he did the execution from the top of the
Top
turnbuckle.
rope. Awesome, man. That was an awesome spot. What were you watching
And
from
the
that view?
stupidest match that I wasted my time going to see, Batista versus Randy Orton, just so Ric Flair could come out. No, first of all, for the match to not even be more than 5 minutes, only for Legacy to interrupt the match, cause a disqualification, and of all people to help Batista, Ric Flair.
Man.
Ric Flair, who retired the year before.
No, it was the same. Well, what? Oh, yeah. No, yeah. The year before. The year before. I thought it was the same year. Oh no. When I got confused, he got inducted to the Hall of Fame that year. That's what happened. That's why I was like, got confused. And wasn't he in TNA at that time? Oh no, he joined TNA later on.
Later that year.
Later that year, yeah. So Yeah, that was funny. I remember that pay per view because I watched it, and I was surprised that Batista and Randy Orton was not the main event. And I was like, oh, and then the match goes on, and yeah, and then ended up in a disqualification. And then it was funny how the after that it was Big Show and John Cena. I kind of understood why it was a little bit semi-main event because of the Big Show caused John Cena his match against Edge at Backlash when he threw chokeslam him through those stage lights, which was crazy. And then John Cena got the win, which I thought was kind of at that time I was rooting for Cena, but when you get older and look back and start doing these fantasy booking and creative stuff, it was a bad choice. Big Show should have won, but
And
obviously he was Super Cena.
then Miz comes out after the match and calls him out again, tries to challenge John Cena. Says, I'm 3-0 against John Cena.
Right.
And has a segment with Jerry Lawler afterwards, kind of predicting his future with Jerry Lawler in 2 years.
For the WWE Championship.
Ah,
Hey, let's talk about that match because that was a great match. Jerry the King Lawler versus The Miz. You seem pretty disappointed about it. Now, you disappointed at the fact that the match ever took place, or what? What's wrong with it?
I'm disappointed
Or
in the fact that The Miz was ever a champion, man.
ever a champion? So even the Money in the
Ever
Bank
WWE
cash in?
champ. Yep.
Damn. So you didn't want him. So he should never have won the WWE Championship at all. Is what you're
Should
saying?
have been Wade Barrett.
Okay. Is that why you're disappointed?
Yep.
Okay.
But I also don't like The Miz. So
True. Fair enough. Fair enough. I will say because I watched WWE Elimination Chamber, the 2011, and I will agree. The Miz should have had a short title reign. Randy Orton should have won it back. WrestleMania 27. Uh, so many matches that should have happened besides what happened, the match that actually took place. Obviously, it took place because they were trying to set up for Rock and Cena. But for me, in my point of view, it should have been. Well, this is what I thought happening at that time. I thought it was going to be Randy Orton as WWE champion, either going to face CM Punk or he's going to face Cena. But then Alberto Del Rio won. That threw me off. And then the Miz retained. So I was like, okay, cool. We got Elimination Chamber. So Elimination Chamber happened. Jerry the King Lawler is facing the Miz, and then there's a number one contender match, and then Edge is defending the World Heavyweight Champion. But you see the lineup, and you're like, well, most likely Edge is going to retain the world title, or maybe Rey Mysterio may win because he may face Alberto at at WrestleMania. Um, that night, I felt like Wayne Brady should have won the World Heavyweight Championship. I also but back to the Miz, I also thought sorry, Randy Orton. I thought Randy Orton was gonna face John Cena at WrestleMania. Because there was rumors about Sting and The Undertaker happening at WrestleMania because Sting was gonna his contract was up from TNA, maybe joining WWE. Um, I believe the Miz should have faced John Cena, not for the WWE Championship. Um, I feel like the Miz should have dropped the title at the Elimination Chamber. He should have defended it inside the Elimination Chamber. Um, I don't know. I felt like it was just weird that the Miz was champion. But again, that's what made the Miz stay because he was a pro about it. He was basically there just to make the Rock and Cena look good, And then he got his moment. He main events at WrestleMania. But I think CM Punk should have won that year's Royal Rumble, to be honest. So, but the Miz, um, I don't know. Yeah, I felt like that wasn't his time to be WWE champion. Wayne Barrett was the right choice. He should have walked in. What was the whole purpose of the NXT, the Nexus, and stuff like that? They were even part of WrestleMania. I mean, the core was, but not Nexus. The original, like, it was just what was the whole purpose? Wade Barrett should have walked in at WrestleMania facing either John Cena for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania. That should have been the buildup. Like,
yep.
Wade Barrett should have won the WWE Championship, go on to WrestleMania, And John Cena should have returned at the Royal Rumble, win the Royal Rumble, and face him at WrestleMania. So what was the other one? And then CM Punk winning the Royal Rumble. He could have faced Randy Orton for the title. Uh, Drew McIntyre should have won the Royal Rumble. He could have faced Edge. Because at the Elimination Chamber, Drew McIntyre and Edge had a backstage program. It was just like, what was that all that about? Alberto Del Rio, he faced Kofi Kingston, and it wasn't even for the Intercontinental Championship. Alberto should have took the title away from him and started a program with Christian at WrestleMania for
Yep.
the Intercontinental Championship. It should have been a singles match for the title, or it could have been a triple threat match with Kofi Kingston involved. But instead, Alberto won the Royal Rumble just to open up WrestleMania to lose.
Yep.
So, and then Wade Barrett, we both agreed. Well, I don't know if you agree, but you did say he should have been WWE champion, but he should have been WWE champion to go on to WrestleMania, main event WrestleMania, face John Cena. The Miz could have had a program with Randy Orton, I guess, or he should have he should have been the one facing John Morrison and teaming up with what I don't know, was it who what was that tag team match with Snooki or something like that? It should have been the Miz and not Dolph Ziggler. Point is, but yeah. So now, now I don't. I'm putting you on the spot. How would you? You're against the Miz ever being WWE champion. If you have a way of booking him, what would you book him? If not, how would you book Wayne Barrett?
Um, well, I would have had him win one of the Money in the Banks for sure. If he wasn't going
Hmm.
to win the 2010 one at Mania, he should have won that new one first and have him cash in on Edge
Wayne
after
Barrett
WrestleMania.
or the Miz?
Wade Barrett.
Okay.
See, it's too early to introduce him at WrestleMania, so have him cash in on Edge. With Edge having that neck injury, that would have been Wade Barrett's perfect time to have cashed in the briefcase. Cash
Mm.
it in on an Edge, talking about his career is over, and Wade telling him, "We can do this the easy way, Edge. I can give you the briefcase, and you can hand me the world title now, or I put you out for good,
Damn.
and you'll never be able to at least even come to greet the fans. So either you leave standing and you give me the title, or you leave on a stretcher and always be on wheels."
Damn. He's
He
going
says,
dark.
then he says, you could be a part of history and be the reason why I become world heavyweight champion.
I like that.
And from then on, and from then on, he start. That's from then on. That's when he starts introducing the bull hammer instead of doing the stupid wasteland finisher.
I like it. I like that move, but not as a finish. Not as a
I
finish.
mean, how is he ever going to do that to a big guy? At least the bull hammer was a good strong enough for him to do that.
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah, no, they did a bad job with Wade Barrett. Poor Wade Barrett.
And then little by little, he recruits the guys that he grew up with, Drew and Sheamus, to join him. Maybe not do that whole UK thing that they did in WWE 2K or whatever, SmackDown versus Raw. Um,
I think I know what you're talking
but
about.
but he recruits
See,
them, and not necessarily as the United Kingdom, but the chosen ones.
the chosen ones of the UK.
Because at that time, Sheamus was the U.S. champion.
Oh yeah, he was.
Drew could have won the IC title back, and Wade Barrett was the world champion at that point, 2011.
Oh
All
yeah.
those things were could have taken place. Then you start having Drew have a second U.S. title or second IC title, so that it makes him more viable for a world title. So now You got the 2011 Money in the Bank, and that's where you have Drew win the Money in the Bank briefcase and have Alberto win the WWE briefcase.
Yeah.
So that Drew eventually cashes in on Wade Barrett. And he
Oh,
keeps teasing. He keeps teasing. He goes, you can always use that on the WWE champion also, right? To kind of keep himself protected.
right, right.
It's not
Kind of like
it's
what
not
Triple H did
necessarily
with Batista.
yeah. But Drew is like Tiffany's, always having Wade Barrett's back until Wade Barrett starts to ridicule him for mistakes, for losing the
Yeah.
IC title, for
Hmm.
costing Sheamus the US title, for causing Sheamus's career, because at some point Sheamus gets injured by Mark Henry during the Hall of Pain situation.
Yeah. I always
And
thought.
eventually,
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
then you have Drew cash in on Wade Barrett after the Elimination Chamber.
Mm. See, what I was gonna say, I always thought a cash in was gonna happen between when Daniel Bryan won it. I always thought the cash in was gonna be him cashing in on Wade Barrett, and they were gonna have a program that way.
And you avoid having Daniel Bryan being a briefcase winner. Yes, it was good for him to win it because he got that exposure, but
Hmm.
then you keep Daniel Bryan from being Sheamus's victim because he
Mm.
never ever beat Sheamus.
Oh yeah, he hasn't. I think that's why they were gonna have a WrestleMania match at WrestleMania 30. Vince was gonna have him
But it
get
was going
his
to be
win
on the
back.
pre-show. But it was going to be on the pre-show
Yeah.
again. Every match that they had together, minus the world title match, was on the pre-show. The two times that he lost to Sheamus for and that. So
Well, the first time the WrestleMania match was 27 was a rematch. So that's why it happened on the pre-show. Because Sheamus won it from Daniel Bryan on a SmackDown leading up to WrestleMania.
yep,
So that's why it was on the
because originally
pre-show.
the world because originally they were it was advertised for WrestleMania, the US title match.
Yeah. They get because it was on the official card, and then the
But
day
then
of the show, they found out it was going to be a lumberjack match, and then
but
that's why it
remember
got bumped out.
a lot of the segments tend to be recorded before WrestleMania. So once they
Mm,
realized all the segments that they planned, how long they were timed, they realized that there was going to rob time. So that's when they bumped them to the pre-show.
all right. It kind of sucks because you want to be included in the match, but at the same time, I think the issue is they don't when it comes to the kickoff show, they don't promote it like a show. It's just like, hey guys, we have a good amount of people here, so here comes your first match.
They don't turn it into Sunday Night Heat. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Sunday
Oh
Night
yeah.
Heat.
They
Sunday,
yeah yeah
Sunday Night Heat before the pay-per-view still had some exposure of the pay-per-view.
yeah. They treat it like a show of its own. So like it had fire, it had pyros and stuff like that. They treated it like a show, and to lead up to because that obviously because it was taped for Raw because it would be a Raw before, but if it was a pay-per-view night, it would be a live show. So and it used to be on a preview basically on pay-per-views, or would you have to go on a different channel? I don't remember that part.
Yeah, it used to be on Spike TV,
Oh, it used to be on Spike
MTV,
TV.
and Spike TV.
Oh, okay, that because I that's the part I couldn't remember. I was like,
Because before that, it used to be Jacked and Metal,
mm. Oh yeah,
which
yeah.
was the Raw pre-show.
All right. But again, what we're trying to say is that they used to treat it like it was a show, where it was like, oh, cool, we're gonna be on Sunday Night Heat. Awesome, cool. Now it's hey, you're on the kickoff show, and it's like they don't treat it like a show. It's just like, oh, hey guys, welcome to we're the panel, whatever, blah blah blah. Oh, here's our first opening match. I guess it doesn't like people are still trying
No,
to walk
no,
in.
I'm sorry, but these panels are boring as hell, man.
They
We
really
don't we don't
are.
we don't want to we don't want to hear all of their opinions for 3 hours before the show. Nobody wants to do that.
Yeah. And it's the same people.
You want to have a pre-show at that? Okay, fine. Why don't you have your own segment of Sports Center
Yeah.
on a random day, like how they used to do that show Confidential with Gene Okerman,
Oh yeah, bro.
or
I
Exposure with
guess.
or WWE Exposure with Trish Stratus,
Mhm.
or Trish and Jonathan Coachman, or Terry Runnels and Jonathan Coachman. Even the coach, he used to have his own when they used to do a lot of the recordings of here, like Raw. They used to do like this is the best of Raw Volume One, best of Raw
Right.
Volume Two. It was Jonathan Coachman that would be the narrating of it. So you might as well take advantage of either Peacock or Netflix and create your own Sports Center thing and do that
Right.
instead of wasting it on the pre-shows.
Yeah, because I honestly like what you just said about Jonathan Coachman. I don't remember much about that, but I like how I envision it. It's kind of like I don't want to see five people giving me their opinion on who's going to go over. Have one person give us throughout the whole match, narrate what's got to happen on the show, but like do backstage with those people, like kind of like, hey, I'm here with Seth Rollins. Who do you think is going to go over? Somebody who's not going to be on the card. Like I'm here with this person. Interview superstars, kind of like backstage, like separate time. Do a whole like, oh yeah, I think this person's gonna win. Blah blah blah. Don't do it live. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Just don't do it live. Do a whole package, and then the end of it be like, oh yeah, so we got everybody's opinions. This is the rest of the match card. The show starts right now. Don't make it live because the panel, like you said, it's boring. Bring at least it's cool to have a main host, obviously, but like have different talent all the time. Um, Especially if that person is like if you're in Philadelphia, obviously have some ECW people, wrestlers from the past once in a while. If there's a certain theme of a match where it's like how there's like two or three key matches where like this is the high what is the word, the I guess the main show, whatever, not main event. I guess main event, whatever. Like if there's gonna be like an Extreme Rules match or a TLC match, right?
Mhm.
Bring Edge, Christian, Bully Ray, Demon for for that segment. Um, but I just started thinking about it. There's Vince Russo, the best booker in all time. He on his own podcast he says that why are there wrestlers in the fans when they're on Netflix where it's like, oh hey, we got our Intercontinental Champion via Valkyrie here with the WWE Universe. He has a problem because it's like, what's the purpose of that? Because some of these wrestlers don't even look like WWE superstars; they just look like fans. How do you feel about that? Do you agree with that? Because I'm gonna be honest, I do have mixed feelings about that. Where it's like, why are they there with the crowd? Why are they not there for commentary? Why are they not there? Like, why is nobody interviewing them?
Yeah, I agree. That's why that's why I'm critical of her title reign because it's going nowhere. And
Even the build up to the match.
that's why I said they shouldn't have created two tag women's mid card titles if they're gonna end up being incomplacent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I get you're trying to create a women's workhorse title, but if they're just gonna be white versions of the men's titles, then just make the speed title the mid card belt.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Let me tell you something. I went to SmackDown, Indiana. So the SmackDown before Royal Rumble, and they had a speed match. I'm gonna be honest. I truly enjoyed it. And if you're telling me like that's just a mid card title, where it's just like just to get your 15 minutes of fame, I like it. It's a good title. And then the matches that took place, even though there was a speed match, that it wasn't even a title match. I was like, damn, it was still a good, decent match for 3 minutes. The title match is 5 minutes, but they could always, if it becomes a mid card title, it could always bump it up to like 15. And I could always see like
Mm-hmm.
the Miz holding that title because that would be a nice title for the Miz to hold.
Or
To
maybe
help,
Maybe have what? Maybe have Carmelo be the one that makes it uh, important
Carmelo, oh
instead of
yeah,
just instead of just feeding him to everybody.
because Melo doesn't miss.
So, speaking of somebody that sounds like Melo, Carmella has been released,
Yeah, I heard.
or her contract went expired.
Why was she out for so long? The pregnancy?
Yeah,
Mm.
pregnancy and then having to take care of the kids while Corey's on the road. So does Corey Graves join her, or does he run another relationship to marry into to stay with the WWE?
Damn. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. Uh, I really like Joe on commentary. I like Wayne Barrett in commentary. I like Pat McAfee on commentary. I like Michael Cole on commentary. Cody Graves. I don't hate him on commentary, but I'm gonna be honest. I'm happy with the commentary team we got now. Um, but I would rather hear more of Joe. You know, so I'm stuck. Joe. I think he's gonna be the next guy. So we'll see what happens. But Corey Grave, I got nothing against him. I'm just saying who the commentary team is right now. I'm liking it, but that's it. Just nothing against Corey Graves. Like he could go to TNA if he decides not to go. I would
Mm.
love to see him wrestle if he's able to wrestle in TNA. I feel like he'll do a good job in TNA. Remember Corey Grave? He was the future of NXT at one point, but he never had a chance, unfortunately. And so, all right. Well, anything else you want to say or add before we wrap this up?
Oh, I think we covered everything because it's we still got a lot of time before WrestleMania, even though it
Yeah,
feels like it's gonna go by quick. Literally in 2 months.
we'll see what happens later on. Plenty more to come when it comes to WrestleMania. So appreciate Andre the Savage for joining another episode. Before we wrap up, just remember life is all about finding balance. Work hard, take time for the things you love, and don't forget to appreciate the little moments. Keep pushing forward and make today count. Thanks for listening. I am is who I am. A storyteller is who I'm trying to be. And if you're feeling so high in joy, give me a holla, like and subscribe, share us on social media, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and IG. New Entry Wrestling Podcast. This is the place for your wrestling reviews, predictions, and fantasy booking. Until next time, deuces.